Every 7 minutes, a child is bullied. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Our topic today is bullying. Joining us now to talk about it is Dr. Marlene Seltzer, the medical director for Beaumont Children's Hospital anti-bullying program, which is called NOBLE, which stands for?
It stands for No Bullying, Live Empowered.
And how unusual is it for a hospital like Beaumont Children's Hospital to have an anti-bullying program? It sounds like something that perhaps would take place more in the schools and not so much perhaps in a hospital.
For a long time, the emphasis has really been on the schools, where it should be a lot of the preventative efforts. But this is really the first time, at least in Michigan, there's been a hospital-based anti-bullying program. And what we're really trying to focus is on the needs of the children that are impacted by bullying and their families, by counseling, education, and support. And so very often schools don't have the resources to provide that, so we're trying to fill that gap by providing that resource.
And this is a program that started in the spring, so you've had some time to sort of evaluate, see how it's been going. What has the response been and how has it been going?
A lot of our time has been spent doing outreach and really letting schools and other organizations know what we're about and know that we're trying to support their efforts. One of the things that we have done is partner with Common Ground for an anti-bullying hotline or bullying hotline, and that has been very successful. We've had close to 200 phone calls and at least that many, if not more, electronic communications via texting or iChat for kids that really need someone to talk to, don't know what to do, to be able to reach out.
And you don't just have to be a victim of bullying to reach out to your organization or to speak up. Certainly bystanders, witnesses, folks who are seeing it happen, and perhaps the bullies themselves seeking and reaching out for help.
You're absolutely right. All three groups are really at risk for some of the consequences of bullying, which can be depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, as well as physical consequences as well, headaches, stomach aches, things like that, even substance abuse.
At what point, if you're a parent, caregiver, teacher, certainly an adult, since it's mostly adolescents, pre-adolescents even that are either the bullies or the victims of bullying, are there warning signs or what to look for, or at what point do you intervene?
Certainly you want to watch for any kind of change in behavior. So sometimes things are obvious. Your child is coming home from school with bruises or with cuts or with their possessions being torn or missing. And those are certainly triggers, but also if they're becoming withdrawn, they don't want to go out with their friends anymore, they don't want to go to school anymore, they're starting to have more physical ailments like headaches or stomach aches, coinciding with not wanting to go to school, they're becoming anxious. Those are all things that as a parent you would want to explore anyway, and definitely bullying should be in the back of your mind. Is that something that's going on that's causing my child to change their behavior in this way? And
then your program, what's the main focus? Is it early intervention? Is it a certain type of intervention? What really are you focusing your efforts on?
We're really trying to meet a child's needs where they are, so it will depend individual to individual. What we'd like to provide is counseling, and also to provide that to the parents as well, because often if a child is suffering, their parents or their family is suffering too. We're having support groups as well. Sometimes people may feel that one-on-one counseling isn't really what they want, but they might feel more comfortable going to a support group and talking to other people in a similar situation, and knowing that they're not alone can be very powerful, especially for kids that are victims or witnesses.
Is bullying on the rise? Is it a so-called epidemic as we've been hearing?
It's so prevalent. It's hard to know because years ago no one really talked about it. It was treated as something that kids should be kids. That's just what happens, playground politics. So people weren't really talking about it as much. So we're hearing about it much more, and also with the internet, cyberbullying has really changed things.
Sure. Thank you so much for joining us today. Interesting program, hopefully doing some wonderful things out there. Thank you again. For more information on today's topic, you can head to beaumont.edu/URNoble. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Dr. Marlene Seltzer, the medical director for Beaumont Children's Hospital anti-bullying program, the NOBLE program.